Hello students, welcome to zoology class. Hope all of you are fine. Today, in continuation to my presentations on structure and function of different organelles of the cell, I will take up the structure and function of cilia and flagella in my today's presentation. So, what is cilia and flagella? Actually, cilia and flagella, these are the complex filamentous cytoplasmic structures protruding through the cell wall, and they are minute, especially differentiated appendices of the cell. So, whether it is cilia or flagella, they are protruding through the cell wall. We can see cilia or flagella outside the cell in different cells or organisms, and flagella, and the singular of flagella is flagellum. These are long hair-like structures that extend from the plasma membrane and are used to move the entire cell. Basically, the function of the flagella and the cilia, it is the movement. So flagella are long hair-like structures, and cilia, and the singular of cilia is cilium. Cilia are short hair-like structures which are used to move the entire cells, as in case of the paramecium or the substances along the outer surface of the cell. For example, the cilia of the cells lining the fallopian tubes. So fallopian tubes is the structure in female reproductive system, and the cells lining the fallopian tube, they have cilia which move the ovum towards the uterus, and the cilia lining the cells of the respiratory tract that help particulate matter to trap and move it towards the nostrils. So cilia are present in many organisms as paramecium. Then cilia are present along the lining of the fallopian tubes which move the ovum towards the uterus, and cilia are also present in the respiratory tract which trap the particulate matter and dust or anything foreign and move it towards the nostrils. And the term cilium means eyelash, and the flagellum means a whip or the stick. So these are the terms. So cilia or flagella, they are basically used for movement, and cilia are shorter in size and flagella are longer in size as compared to cilia. So cilia are present on the surface of the cell in much greater numbers. Cilia cells often have hundreds of cilia, but flagellated cells usually have single flagellum. So when flagellum is present in an organism, it is usually single, but cilia are present in hundreds when they are present on any cell. And the real difference between cilia and flagella, it lies in the nature of the movement. That the difference between the cilia and flagella is the way how they move. So cilia roll like oars. Cilia show the movement like the oars of the boat, and the movement is biphasic. That is, it consists of the effective stroke and as well as the recovery stroke. So the cilia move in two strokes. They are effective stroke and recovery stroke. So this is about the movement of the cilia. And flagella, they wrinkle like eels. They generate waves, and they pass the waves along their length, and they usually, the movement is from base to tip at constant amplitude. So this is about the movement of the cilia. So cilia and flagella, they differ because of their movement. And when we talk about the cilia, I told you that cilia it moves with two strokes. One is the power effective stroke and other is the recovery stroke. So the movement of water by a flagellum is parallel to the axis, while the cilium moves water perpendicular to its axis and hence perpendicular to the surface of the cell. So the movement of the flagellum is parallel to the axis and the movement of the cilia, it is perpendicular at right angle to the axis. So this is the difference between the cilia and the flagella. Cilia are numerous in number, flagella usually is single in number in an organism, and their movement way, the way how they move, it is different, and the movement of water by a flagellum is parallel to the axis and by a cilium it is perpendicular to the axis. So this is the diagram. So this is single flagella in an organism, so this is flagellum. So these are the cilia. This is a paramecium and there are numerous cilia on the outer surface. So this is the difference between the cilia and the flagella. And if I was talking about the movement of the cilia, I told you that the movement of cilia has two strokes. One is the power effective stroke and other is the recovery stroke. So what is a power effective stroke? So a power effective stroke, it is an active, fast, straight down stroke, and cilia propels through the surrounding fluids like oars of the boat, and so it propels the organism along. In power effective stroke, the movement propels the organism along with the movement. And in recovery stroke, what happens? That in recovery stroke, it is slower recovery action, at the end of which cilia return to their original position, because position is changed in power effective stroke, and in recovery stroke it comes again back to the original position. And a ciliated organism actually coordinates the beat, so that some of the cilia are in recovery stroke and some of the cilia, they are in the power effective stroke. So a wave like ciliary activity, it passes along the length of the body in one particular direction, and so the organism moves in one particular direction, and the coordination allows the organisms to move smoothly through the water. So this is the movement of the cilia, which is composed of two strokes. One is the power effective stroke and other is the recovery stroke. And if we talk about the movement of flagella, I will tell you that the flagellum they are of two types. One is the whiplash flagellum and one is the tinsel flagellum. So what is a whiplash flagellum? It is the naked flagellum and it is without any lateral hair. It doesn't have any lateral hair, and the movement of this flagellum drives the organism in a direction opposite to that of the flagellum. So in whiplash flagellum, it is like the whip, and in this the flagellum drives the organism in opposite direction to that of the flagellum, and it has no lateral hair. And the tinsel type flagellum, it refers to the flagellum with lateral hair, and the lateral hair are known as the Flimmer filaments. So this type of flagellum, it has lateral hairs, and in this flagellum the movement of organism is towards the movement of the flagellum. So these are the two types of the flagellum, and in these types of flagellum there is a difference in the movement. So a flagellum possesses a symmetrical beat with several undulations along the length. There are different beats by which the flagellum moves, and flagellum move in an undulating manner. I will show this. That this is the diagram. This shows the different types of movements in the flagellum, and flagellum moves in an undulating manner and beat independently to generate planar and helical waves. Flagellum moves in waves, and the waves originate at either the base or at the tip, and if the wave moves from base to tip, the cell is pushed along, and if the wave travels from tip towards the base pulls the cell through water. So these are the different diagrams which show the movement of the flagellum. So this is in case of the spermatozoa or the sperm, and this is the movement, this is tip and this is base. So here the movement is from base to tip, and here also this is the flagellum thrust and this is the arrow showing the movement. So this is the movement in case of the zoospores, and this is a tinsel flagellum because it has the lateral hair which are called as the flemurs, and this is the movement in the euglena when it is from the helical bead. So in euglena it shows helical beads, and in spermatozoa, trypanosoma and zoospores it is showing planar bead, that is in one plane. So these are the different types of the movement in case of the flagellum. So now I will come to the structure of the flagellum. So if we talk about the structure of the flagellum, then I will tell you that if we see that despite their different pattern of beating in cilia and flagella, they are indistinguishable when we talk about the its structure. So if we talk about its structure, so basically the cilia and the structure, they are basically same and they have different parts. That is, the first part is shaft or axoneme, then the basal body, then down to it is the basal plate, and then there comes the rootlets. And the shaft or the axoneme is the main part that projects outside the cell, which we see with our eyes, that the portion of the cilia or the flagellum which projects outside, that is known as the shaft and the axoneme. And if we see the transverse section through this portion of the cilia or the flagellum, that is the axoneme, we see that a bundle of microtubules which forms the axoneme. They are 1 to 2 nanometer in length and 0.2 μ in diameter, and it is surrounded by a membrane that is a part of the plasma membrane of the cell. And the axoneme is connected with the basal body, then down to it is the basal plate and then rootlets, and which is an intercellular granule lying in the cell cortex and which originates from the centrioles. So only the visible portion outside the cell is the axoneme, and each axoneme, it is filled with ciliary matrix, and in which there are present 2 central singlet microtubules, and each with 13 protofilaments and 9 outer pairs of microtubules, and they are known as the doublets. And this will become more clear when we will see the diagram. And this recurring motif is known as 9+2 pattern. So the structure of the axoneme of the cilia and the flagella is of 9+2 pattern. So each doublet, it contains one complete microtubule called the A subfiber containing all the 13 protofilaments, and attached to each A subfiber is the B subfiber with 10 protofilaments. And subfiber A, it has 2 dining arms, it has 2 arms, so which are oriented in a clockwise direction, and doublets are linked together by Nexin links. And dynein actually is an adenosine triphosphate that converts the energy released by adenosine triphosphate hydrolysis into the mechanical work of ciliary and flagellate beating. So energy is got from the ATP for the working of the cilia and the flagella. And each subfiber A is also connected to the central microtubules by radial spokes, as you have studied in centrioles, and terminating in a fork-like structure called spoke knobs or the head. So this is the structure of the cilia or the flagella. So in this diagram you see this is the direction of the motion. In this direction it moves in case of flagellum, and the direction of motion in case of cilia, it is like this. So this diagram shows the movement. And if we talk about this is the transverse section of the axoneme portion of the cilia or the flagella. So you see here that each cilia or flagella, it is surrounded by the membrane, and which is continuous. This is the membrane, plasma membrane. It is continuous with the plasma membrane of the cell, and there are present 9 doublets, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So these are the 9 doublets, and each doublet has a pair of arms projecting from the microtubule and towards the neighboring doublet. So these are the arms. So, and they are made up of the protein dynein, and the 2 dynein arms of microtubule A form cross-link with microtubule B. So this is the cross-link between 2 micro doublets of microtubules, and a radial spoke also extends from the microtubule A towards the central microtubule. So these are the radial spokes, green in color, and they move towards the central microtubule. So these are the 2 central microtubules. That's why we call it 9 plus 2 pattern. And then microtubules are composed of tubulin protein. So this is the structure of the cilia or the flagella. And at the end of the axoneme, in both cilia and flagellum is present the basal body in the cytoplasm, and basal body is just below the cilium and the flagellum. And if we see the structure of the basal body, it is a short cylinder, and it has 9 microtubule triplets like in centriole in the periphery, and there is no central microtubule in the basal body. So this is the structure of the cilia or the flagella in transverse section. Then we will talk about the function of the cilia. So cilia, now you know that cilia or flagellum are basically have the locomotory function. Cilia are used for locomotion in isolated cells such as certain protozoans like paramecium. Paramecium is a protozoan, and it has cilia all over the body, and paramecium moves with the help of the cilia. And motile cilia, they use their rhythmic undulation to sweep away the substances, as in clearing dirt, dust, microorganisms and mucus to prevent the disease. So cilia play roles in the cell cycle as well as in animal development, such as in the heart. And cilia selectively allows certain proteins to function properly. So this is also the function of the cilia. And cilia play a role in cellular communication and molecular trafficking. So they also communicate the molecules. So non-motile cilia, they serve as sensory apparatus for cells. They are sensory in function, and they detect signals, and they play crucial role in sensory neurons also. Non-motile cilia can be found in kidneys to sense urine flow, as well as in the eyes of the photoreceptors of the retina. So we see that the function of cilia is basically locomotive. So cilia help in locomotion, for example in paramecium. Then they help in sweeping away the substances and clearing the dust, etc. Then they help in certain proteins to function properly. They help in cell cycle. They help in communication of certain molecules. And non-motile cilia, they are sensory in function. So these are some of the functions of the cilia. And then functions of flagella. And flagella are also used for locomotion in cells such as spermatozoans and euglena. And flagella have an active role in aiding cell feeding and eukaryotic reproduction. So they also help in eukaryotic reproduction. And in prokaryotes such as bacteria, flagella serve as a propulsion mechanism, that is a movement. They are the chief way for the bacteria to swim through fluids. So basic function of the flagella is the movement, and it also provides a mechanism for pathogenic bacteria to aid in colonizing host and therefore transmitting diseases. So it also helps in transmitting the diseases in the host. And flagella also function as bridges for adhesion to host tissue. And if the organism is parasite, then the flagella of the parasite helps in adhering to the host tissue, and so these are the functions of the flagella. So today we have studied about the structure and function of the flagella and the cilia. Now I have already sent you study material. You have to prepare notes by combining the material of both the presentation as well as the study material, and if you find any difficulty, you can discuss those difficulties or doubts with me. Thank you.